going north.
Going north. There's your missus' fault for forgetting it was a bank holiday.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. The last time I spoke to you we were at a campsite just by Jodrell Bank, and we were there because Jodrell Bank is a World Heritage Site, UNESCO World Heritage Site, and we're trying to see as many of those as possible. We then moved on, stayed briefly at a small CL in Ilkley because we went to another UNESCO site, Salts Mill and Saltaire, which is the town that Titus Salt had built for his workers at the mill. And we've now come up to Dunbar. And the reason for being here, it relates to our second challenge of getting round all of the British coastline. And last time we were in this area, we only got to St Abb's Head. So we're now completing this section, and Dunbar is our first port of call. As we drove past the power plant and the cement works, we were a little concerned as to what the site would be like. It turns out we needn't have worried, it's a lovely site. It's a camping and caravanning club site with great views looking out over the Firth of Forth and Bass Rock to the town of Dunbar over the water. So we're hoping to get a few trips in before we move on, but I will do a campsite tour of this very interesting site. So as usual, I'll show you on a map the route we're going to take around the site, and then we'll do the campsite tour. This is the map of the Dunbar Camping and Caravanning Club site. It's got a good mix of pitches, grass only, grass with electric and hard standing with electric, as well as pitches for larger units and of course pitches for tents. So we'll make our way from the entrance into the site, turning left where there's the motorhome service point, visitor parking and all the waste bins, and then come into the site with reception on our left, taking the first right up to the highest point of the site because it is on a bit of a hill, and we'll go to the end, which is also where you'll find the entrance to the dog walk. Then we'll come all the way back down, turning right past the tower, which I'll explain a bit more about as we go round, and then follow the outer road all the way down to the far end of the site, and then we'll turn left to come back up the hill to the amenities block and have a look round there. So we're just coming up the entrance road to the site. Here on the left is the location for the motorhome service point, the waste bins and visitor parking. We'll now make our way into the site. This is reception, In through the barrier and then turning up to the right, this is the section we had our pitch on, and we'll go all the way to the end. This is our pitch here. We'll go right up to the end, which is a turning point. You'll also see there's an entrance to the dog walk here, and as we turn left you'll see the wonderful view across the Firth of Forth over to Dunbar, and out there in the distance is Bass Rock. Just coming back down the road, and you'll see on the left is the cement works I mentioned. And although it seemed to be working 24 hours, it didn't cause any problems at all. The other building you can see is a power station. Another feature of the site is all the skylarks, which particularly like the grasslands just behind our pitch. We're now back at the end of the road, and we're going to turn right and then follow this road round. Here's one of the ways to get to the facilities block, and here's a water service point. This is the tower I mentioned. It's the Slow Biggin Tower, also known as Broxmouth Park Observatory. It was built around 1850 and it was commissioned by the Duke of Roxburgh as a folly, offering panoramic sea views. As you can see, here are the sea views. Just down here on the right you'll see the children's play area. The road down to the right takes you to the caravan storage area. Then we're going to turn left up the hill. Need to change gear here a bit. Past another water point area. Looks like someone didn't fancy the walk to the van. Then up here on the right is the amenities block. Firstly, I'll show you inside the gents facilities, and they're a really good size. Plenty of showers. Here's the chemical waste disposal. Here's an indoor dishwashing room. There's also an outdoor dishwashing area. In fact, this is where I was recording the introduction earlier, as it was a particularly windy day. This is the laundry. It's got sinks, iron and ironing board, washers and dryers, and you can also dry your clothes outside. We'll take just one last look at the tower. So I hope you found that tour useful. As you can see, it's a lovely site in a very interesting location with views out over the Firth of Forth. We've thoroughly enjoyed being here, and we'll be moving on now to get further north up towards St Andrews on the coast. So until then, bye for now. Bye. Tantallon was the last truly great castle built in Scotland. In 1354, William Douglas, a nobleman, was given the estates of his father, Sir Archibald Douglas, and his uncle, the good Sir James Douglas, a close friend of Robert the Bruce. This land included the barony of North Berwick. William was made Earl of Douglas in 1358, by which time masons may already have begun to build Tantallon. The House of Douglas split into two branches in the 1380s, the Black and the Red. Tantallon passed to the junior line, the Earls of Angus, also known as the Red Douglases. They owned the castle for the next 300 years.